you guys are liking the pixelation here, or lack of light. But, brief video here. It's January 29th, 2013. Spring's just around the corner, you know. We're just now getting nights where it's above zero. Oh my god, the other night it was as warm as 27 degrees, which to some of you, you're going, that's not warm. It is, compared to negative 20 or negative 30 or, heaven forbid, negative 40. I think there's a record out here for negative 60. But obviously, I still am alive. I am still breathing. Let me check. Yeah, I'm still alive. Although sometimes I wonder, did I come out here to die? There are negative thoughts. Obviously, they're going to come into anybody's consciousness when they're in an isolated realm, but as it is in the city. So, in talking about my life experiences here, you take the good with the bad. And a lot of people are they're very quick to judge something or a place as being good or bad. And this is just the latest in my adventures. There will be more. Um, there is great value in being in nature, but great value in just creating change, whatever the change is. Even when I went to Dallas, Dallas wasn't what I would call a great time, but it was change. And I saw a different part of the planet, and it expanded my knowledge base to another level where I'm seeing, how people live in their boxes, and city to city, state to state, you know, place to place. People live in their own unique matrices. And everybody always thinks that the others that live across the sea or across the land or across the state or whatever, across the country, that they're the weird ones. They're the crazy ones. They are the racist ones. They are the judgmental ones. And through my travels, the basic fundamentals of the problem of dealing with other people is everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. And wherever we go, there we are. So change is constant. And, people ask me a lot, Alex, how long are you going to be there? A lot of them just want to know, why would you go there? I understand there are others that aren't drawn to the energy of the San Luis Valley, which is a very mysterious valley. And I'll be talking about that more this coming Saturday on American Freedom Radio. You should tune in. My guest is Christopher O'Brien, author of The Mysterious Valley, Enter the Valley, the second book about this region, and the third book, Stalking the Trickster. I know I was drawn up here, but I'm not fully aware on a conscious level of all the different reasons why I might be here. But I know that life goes on. My ability to share information with you is, it's limited, but it still exists. Obviously, you're watching this video now. There's limited light. We have a good little pixelation, thing going on, but it's still communication. So it doesn't matter whether I'm here or I'm in Dallas or I'm in Portland, Oregon, hosting Outside the Box TV live before thousands of people at once. Wherever I go, there I am. Now, there are times where I miss Outside the Box TV because I was reaching people that weren't, got a little bit of a lantern fluid that's leaking out of the bottom here. My lighting is limited here, but you get used to it after a while. You do. And the little complications that come with it. Ooh, it's leaking out the side. The beauty of doing Outside the Box TV for the time that I did was that I was reaching people that weren't normally seeking this information. They were finding it accidentally. And it was because of that I was able to plant seeds in the consciousness of those individuals that somehow or another, whether they accidentally stumbled upon the channel because someone else was flipping the channels, or they themselves were looking for additional entertainment, stimulus. Regardless, they found it, and there were a lot of people that ended up watching the show for the time that I did it. even those that just disagreed with some of the things I was sharing, just to hear an alternative perspective. And I missed that, but that was what it was for that time being. There's no looking back. There's only going forward. So in my own head here, I spent a lot of time in my own head. I'm not doing a lot of writing because I'm being here. Even the Indians, a lot of their information they transferred on, not through writing, but the oral tradition. However, I see the future in the way that I'm going to deliver some of the information ideas. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of it has to be put down in writing. And, and when the time is right, I'll be releasing some new stuff. And I've written a lot of articles in the past that have had somewhat of a viral nature to them, more so than some of my videos. So the way I'm looking at, things of that nature, sharing information, what my future is, it will come as it's meant to come when it's time. And I'm sharing the stuff about my life because this mirrors things going on in your life. People talk about a shift in consciousness. Well, it's the individual shift in consciousness that we need to direct our attention, not an expectation of others waking up or going through their own shift. That's their life, and you have your life. You're responsible for your own life, and nothing more and nothing less. So, you may feel drawn at some point in the coming months or years to live outside the box. Live outside, the norm of the way that you have been living. A lot of people are trapped into these fears of living without less. And, we all go through these moments where we get alerted that, you know, unless we get this, and this done, something may go wrong in our lives. And, a lot of people go through that with their, the need to pay their rent and feed themselves and heat themselves with utilities going up and up. But when you rid yourself of that responsibility or that, even that comfort of having something, which really you don't even own, but you're just renting it, it leaves you to focus on the more important things. And if you could find ways to live with less, if you could find ways to shelter yourself and, heat yourself and feed yourself without such a dependency on the way that, things were in the past, the way that you used to live, you liberate yourself. But I go through it too. I'm realizing, wow, I'm low on firewood again. I have to get more. The last couple of weeks I wasn't able to buy firewood, even though I had the physical means to do so. It's just that, with the friend that I have who has the truck, we just never we've had other things going on, and he's had to take some trips to the hospital, so other things have come up. I ended up harvesting some wood from the river. I don't have a big axe, I just have a little hatchet, but after, if you're cold enough, it will break up. You will make sure that wood breaks up somehow, some way. And, I go through another liberating experience. Oh, even though I wasn't able to access firewood and it's winter, I was still able to forage materials from my natural environment. It doesn't mean that there's an unlimited supply of cottonwood, which is not the best wood to be burning, but it's still wood. And the wood will still cook the food that's being cooked, heated upon the wood stove. Because for about a month now, I've had no propane stove because that broke. So, I mean, I'm working with less than what most people work with. Even when they, go off the grid, a lot of people come out here a little bit more prepared than I. I don't even have a chainsaw. But still, the universe places people in my life. I'm placed in other people's lives. There might be somebody, this is the case right now, who's got a herniated herniated disc, other issues, cancer, and they just need someone, an able-bodied person, to help them finish building their home. And so I'm going to be applying some of my efforts in that direction. In turn, through the friendship, there's ways that it benefits myself. Of course, it's not about how it's going to benefit you. You don't want to go into something with that mentality, but you do want to embrace this knowing that by giving, you help yourself receive. Give and take, this natural ebb and flow of life based on a mindful way of living without stealing, without raping the environment. Being as mindful as you possibly can in your relationships and dealings with other people. So, I mean, I see everything as a challenge And I see many things in life as a test. In another video, I'll talk about, my idea of this spiritual matrix, a spiritual, biological, virtual video game. We're all at our own different levels, trying to ascend on some level to where our souls are meant to go from here on out, based on the deeds that and the actions, uh, and the words and the thoughts that we create, that we embrace ourselves in while we're in the earth realm. So I see things as a challenge in my own life, and I see how through hardship and going through a certain level of experience, coming out the other side, it makes me a better person, a more full person. And so while others may not understand the concept or the idea of embracing hardship as a actual strategy towards greater self-awareness and enlightenment to a certain degree, another layer of enlightenment as to what we're capable of. And there's a lot of different thoughts that I have about this, but ultimately, you think about where I've been and where I am now. And yes, I have a limited financial situation, but that's an artificial construct. I have a limited ability to get to you through the internet. The internet's controlled by the government to a certain degree, and it's monitored by the government. For years and years and years, man has passed on information to the oral tradition, so that shouldn't stop me either. And it really doesn't matter that I'm not in Oregon anymore, because I identify with the Earth as my planet. And although, Oregon's in my heart, and I'm in the heart of many Oregonians, I can't just be someone that's limited to one geographic spot. It's like it's like my own personal destiny coexists with a reality of traveling, sharing information, meeting different people through synchronicity, and speaking of my faith. In a creator which I don't have to identify any ancient name for it. I don't take part in any specific rituals, or I don't summon or channel any spirits, but I feel a direct connection to Source, and that God plays a very large part, is playing a very large part in the affairs of man right now. Things he's allowing to happen because we're here to grow, we're here to evolve. There's plenty of information around us to understand what's going on here. So I see, in a way, a perfect universe, not an imperfect universe, that things are the way that they should be. The world is a reflection of itself, the way people are living in the cities, even people's relationships. It's all a reflection of itself. So if I can come out here, get away from all the madness, be in my own information in space, and fire up a video here to speak my truth, is that necessarily a bad thing? It's not. And there's no point in me getting upset at others that don't understand. It's really an exercise for me to practice compassion and understanding, and to also not judge them as they judge me, but also to not judge them and where they're at, because there is a lot of confusion. A lot of confusion on this earth right now, including, coming from the area of those that would call themselves truthers. I see the whole planet as being one giant, ball of confused biological entities that are here to grow and evolve. Especially those that say they're awakened, and those that say they have found the wisdom and they have the truth about the systems of control. A lot of this is about coming back to oneness, though, and embracing the love vibration, to not compete with each other over who knows the most information about this, that, and the other, compete for resources. I mean, there are people playing those games that say that they're awake. Just because you're awake of a system of oppression, doesn't mean that you can't mirror those same energetic qualities in your interactions and dealings with other sentient beings. We see it all the time. So, I'm here now. Don't know how long, but change is constant and everything happens for a reason, and I embrace that change. And I am grateful for at least the ability to come to you through the limited power that I have on my laptop from God knows where in the San Luis Valley of South Central Colorado. But I know that this is just the beginning of a lot more information that humanity will continue to share with itself, whether it be through technology or books or the spoken word, or carvings written on a petroglyph before a cataclysm. I better get my chalk ready. Who knows what's coming down the wire? I just want to tell you guys I'm doing good. Things are all right out here. And please share these videos with others so we can get those view counts above 100. Thank you.